Mr. Collins, would you lead us in the pledge?
Be honored. Please join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome to the June 19th, 2017 edition of the Ripon City Planning Commission. Roll call.
Commissioner McCusker?
Here.
Dennison? Here. Collins?
Here.
West? Salchin?
Here.
Martin?
Here. Let's review the minutes. Hopefully you've all had an opportunity to. Are there any changes or corrections or additions?
I will move to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of approval of the minutes as posted, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Minutes are approved.
I have to abstain because I was not at
Duly noted. All right, are there any changes to the agenda at this time?
No, there's not, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Is there anyone here who, in the public seating, that would like to address a matter that is not on this evening's agenda? Very good. We will proceed to public hearing on the one matter before us. Mr. Zeidervart will make a presentation and a recommendation on that matter, and then we will open the public hearing. The applicant has an opportunity to speak with regard to Agenda 1-1. Any folks in favor of it may then follow that. Those in opposition would speak next, and then there is an opportunity for rebuttal by the applicant or appellant. Once all the testimony is complete, we'll close the public hearing, bring the item back to discussion by the commission. There is an appeals process. If someone disagrees with the vote of the commission, and we can certainly explain that and provide additional information to you if you'd like to appeal. Very good. Let's go to item 1-1, please, Mr. Zeidervart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow commissioners. Actually, what you have here in front of you this evening is there's two requests within the staff report, so there'll be two recommendations this evening for you. The request here this evening is for a site plan permit to construct a 20,000 square foot boat dealership on a 2-acre parcel located in the mixed use district. You can see kind of the site location there. Let me get to the slide that shows you. That's kind of the existing look of the site. And then the proposed parcel map that you will be looking at tonight. So they're looking at taking parcel 1, which is in the upper left-hand corner of that map. Again, so the current configuration of the property is one large parcel, approximately 16 acres in size. The applicant is, however, looking to parcel off just 2 acres of that for his dealership needs. Therefore, part of the application packet tonight is including a parcel map that would, upon approval, parcel that 16-acre lot or parcel into 4 smaller parcels of various size. So the applicant, again, is wishing to develop the upper left-hand corner of that map there, which is parcel 1 as indicated on the map. The proposed location of the building, go to the colored one there for you, of the building is mostly in the middle of the parcel with customer and boat display parking surrounding the exterior of the site and along the front elevation of the building. The off-street parking facility provides a total of 18 spaces, 16 standard and 2 handicap stalls, which meets the required spaces by local regulations. And all the stalls meet the City of Ripon's standard parking dimensions, which are 10 by 19. Those are a little larger than most communities. Most communities have 9-foot wide stalls, so I think think people enjoy having a little bit more space here in town. And although the site plan does not indicate bicycle parking, it will be provided subject to our local regulations. Access to the site will be provided by two commercial driveways, approaches, both of them off of Camps Way. You can see them kind of where the green, the break in the green landscaping would be. There's two commercial driveway sites there. The access furthest south, which is on that drawing there, the furthest one right, will be coordinated to line up with the neighboring Tractor Supply commercial driveway onto Camps Way. This helps reduce conflicts of vehicles exiting both sites, essentially acting as a two-way stopped control intersection. The master developer for the overall site will be responsible for extending Garrison Way or the frontage road once the other parcels around this site develop. So let me show you that really quickly on. Let me zoom in here a second. So their driveway, the southernmost driveway, is going to be lining up mostly with Tractor Supply's exit onto Camps Way, and the other one will be up here, slightly offset from the rear side of Tractor Supply, which really doesn't get a whole lot of traffic, mostly for truck deliveries. And since their access to their site is off of Camps Way, again, they will not be putting in this frontage road, which is actually the responsibility of the master developer, who is responsible for this entire site. So when other users come in, that frontage road will be extended to connect to Camps Way over there. The exterior of the building that's being proposed this evening, let me see if I can get to that drawing for you. It's gonna load, there we go. The exterior of the building is a mixture of metal siding, high-performance insulated wall panels, horizontal metal siding, some stone veneer, and glass panel doors and windows. The building will be accented with differing materials and colors, as well as metal awnings and canopies in varying spots around the building. So the applicant has also indicated the entire site will be fenced and gated, and the proposed fencing material for the site will be an ornamental wrought iron type fencing, which, as applicant has indicated, will look similar to that. That's to obviously lock up the site, as he does have a lot of inventory and boats on site that need to be secured when they are not open. Also indicated on the site plan is a trash enclosure. Let me get back to the site plan there for you. A trash enclosure which is located on the northern boundary of the property. It'll be up against where the future frontage road is. You can see kind of in that area. Trash enclosure will be required to be covered pursuant to city standards, and the design and construction of the enclosure and associated roof system shall be architecturally compatible with the main building. So trash enclosures must be covered now for stormwater requirements, and so that would be compatible with the main building with kind of probably a metallized type roof structure over the enclosure. Although no lighting has been indicated on the plans, there will be lighting provided, which will have to meet City of Ripon standards. Once submitted, the lighting plans will be reviewed in more detail by the police department and the planning department to ensure adequate site lighting for security reasons around the building, and also to ensure that all lighting is appropriately shielded from adjacent properties. The site contains approximately 15% of landscaping, which is exactly our standard for the mixed-use district. You can see kind of all the green space on there for the landscaping of the site. There has not been any detailed landscaping plans submitted yet, but that will be a requirement of the project, that they will have to submit landscaping and irrigation plans. We'll have to comply with the California's model water efficient landscape ordinance, as well as our design guidelines for landscaping. There is some signage, let me see. There is some signage indicated on the plans for illustration purposes only. All proposed signage that comes forward in the future will have to comply with our standards as well. We did hold a project review meeting with the applicant on June 6th, and all the conditions and concerns that we received with the project referral, and at that meeting are in the staff report as conditions of approval. So that kind of wraps up the staff report I have for you this evening. I know the applicant's here, as well as the architect. If you have any questions, they might be able to answer some of those, or I'd be happy to entertain any questions if you have any.
Ken, I have a question about the, is the applicant that's building the boat dealership own all the land, or is it owned by somebody else?
No, so
And-
the dealership, the boat dealership will own the 2-acre parcel up top. So, Village Properties is actually the owner of all the parcels there. They own the ones that, actually the ones across the street as well that are surrounding Les Schwab and Tractor Supply, as well as this 16-acre parcel.
So I'm assuming they're okay with dividing it into 4 parcels instead
Yeah,
of just?
they actually worked with them on the dividing the lots. A parcel, you can divide a parcel, with a parcel map, you can go up to 4 parcels. And so that's what they've chosen to do, is to chop it up that way to make things a little more marketable. So when other projects come in, it's a little easier to do lot line adjustments than to actually do a parcel map. So they can adjust lot lines now if
Right.
another user comes in, and obviously it would be in front of you guys for approval, but they could adjust the lot lines a lot easier at that point.
So there could be an occasion where somebody would want even more land than what one of the parcels allows.
They could merge, merge
Okay.
parcels. So like a lot line adjustment and a merger application, they are typically done at a staff level. They don't come before the planning commission for those.
Okay,
But any project that would come to these sites would be in front of you guys for approval.
okay. And then with the security, there's a lighting, but there's not cameras required, or?
There's not, it's because we do have 2 cameras over in that area already that would have, that cover that site.
Ken, is it your plan or the city's plan that when one of the 2 parcels to the east of this site is developed, is that the point at which you would ask that Garrison Way, the frontage road, be completed?
Yeah, and most likely those site coming in would need access off of both Garrison Way and Camps Way to make it work, so that's when that would be required to go in.
Okay. And did I understand you that there would be a stop sign?
No, I did mention, basically, when you line driveways up like that, when you have commercial properties opposing each other, it's a good idea to line driveways up, because what happens is people coming out of parking lots stop, and it acts like a stop-controlled intersection, not a 4-way stop, but a 2-way stop-controlled intersection.
Okay.
So when you're stopped at the exit of, say, the boat dealership, and there's somebody coming out of Tractor Supply there, I mean, you're both stopped and you can see each other, versus we have driveways that are not lined up with each other. Sometimes you're pulling out and all of a sudden this guy's pulling out. So it's a good practice to line driveways up when it possible, just for traffic
Now I understand.
flow.
Thank you. Any other questions for the planning director? If not, is the applicant here? And would you like to address the commission? Please state your name and address.
Norman Wilson, Wilson Architecture, 609 15th Street, Modesto, 5770114. I'm the architect for the project, representing the owner, the will-be owner of the 2-acre parcel, Brent Lemke. And we've worked with staff thoroughly through this and actually have no issues with what they're requesting us to do. And we're here to answer any questions that you guys would have of us. We've already had a few for Ken, but we pretty well worked through all the issues that we have come across, all of us. If there's any questions I can answer, I'd be glad to. The owner's here also, but,
Who is the owner?
oh, Brent Lemke right there.
Right. Why'd you pick this site in Ripon? Is it already piece of space there? Why did you pick Ripon in this site?
You know, part of it is, you know, being closer to 99, I'd say 90% of our business comes from Highway 99. We've been located in Escalon for 23 years.
Ah, okay.
And, you know, majority of our business definitely comes from this route. We have a lot of customers in this general area as well too, in the city
Okay.
specifically.
Is this going to be an additional location then to the Escalon?
We'll go ahead and move.
You're moving,
to that
okay,
location.
I see.
We don't currently own the land, we're leasing the property that we're on right now, and, you know, need a little bit more space. We're on an acre right now, is what we're working off of, and, you know, need a little bit more space for
Wow.
Definitely always, community to save, police force and Ripon has a good reputation for keeping a good watch over it.
Yeah, no, they really do.
Something that is, important to us.
And it's an affluent community. I always looked at that big Ripon sign, okay, and I wonder whose sign's gonna be right next to it, And, as I looked at this project, and I drove out there, I'm thinking, wow, the freeway visibility for this, the boat parking out there, I mean, it's gonna look attractive. And, the city of Ripon is known to be affluent. It seemed like a great selection to me, so.
It's a bit difficult to tell from the renderings what this building's gonna look like. Is it comparable to the existing facility in Escalon, or?
Oh, now, if you've seen the existing facility, it's like 45 years old, it's an old railroad warehouse. It's going to be, if you can take it with a grain of salt, if you know the building down on the corner on the left down here has metal panels that look like stucco, that's basically the facing from Camp's Way that you're going to see. The rest of the back of the building will be metal panels of matching color, but it'd be a steel building type panel. We're going to have a facade around the top, as you see in the front and sides, to emphasize the building, not only for signage, but just for visibility also. But we're going with a high-performance stuccoed panel, so I can't say it looks like stucco. It does from a distance, but you get closer than 20 feet, you know that they're metal. They've got joints that are very tight, but the rest, they're 4-foot wide panels rather than, every 12 inches having a steel seam. So, but it's still based on a metal building, but it's a very nice-looking building. And we've shown pictures to Ken of other ones we've done that are similar to it.
Well, you're talking about the insulated panels. Did you say both sides or one side's gonna have insulated?
Right now, we're proposing the side that faces south and the side that faces west, which basically are our frontages that you see from the freeway and Camp's Way. That's what we're proposing on that. And the rest, the other, basically, what we call the backside, if you want it for another word, towards the big tower and the tank. And the canal side, maybe is a better way to put it, we're going to be regular metal panels, insulated, but not the high-performance ones. But they would be basically the same color, so they would all blend in. But for visibility of people coming to it, the building will look like it's a stucco building until you get really close and see the joints.
Okay.
Looks like it's a dual slope building,
Correct.
mansard roof type
Correct.
setup, okay.
So I have a question. Will there be any maintenance at the site at all, or is it just straight sales?
Well, no, they have a small maintenance shop. I mean, they don't build and repair and build boats and all that kind of stuff there, but they do the maintenance that you normally do. Somebody comes in and needs the boat, an oil change service, things like that. They, mainly when they sell boats, they put all the accessories on. That's all done there. They all come separate from the boat itself. But beyond that, they're not tearing boats apart and having if you will, an auto yard that's sitting out there with all these broken vehicles and stuff like that. It's not that kind of place. It's mainly just servicing customers to get their boats up and ready for the season, or when they buy a new one, everybody can buy $1 million worth of accessories on a boat. It never ends. And so they put those on. They're not factory installed. They're installed at the site. And that's mainly done inside the back warehouse where they store the boats. So it's very little of it outside. If you look on that plan on the top, or the elevation, on the far left, there's a little canopy sticking out the back. Some of that, when they go out there to test run the boats and do the final wash of them, it's outside where they can collect the water and stuff like that. But for most part, it's all inside.
Mr. Lemke, what kind of inventory are you usually carrying, the number of boats?
I'd say an average number of boats that we have on site is probably between about 40 and 50.
Okay.
Boats, they vary in price a lot. Do primarily large sport boats, like wakeboard boats, motorsport boats, and aluminum style fishing boats, anything from 16 to 40 plus feet. One of the differences that we'll have here is we'll have quite a bit of indoor, showroom display space. To be able to keep all the large sport boats have a lot of
Bass Pro Shop has a really, really cool aquarium. Would you be willing to put in a? Can never mind. Okay.
I've seen you fishing.
Catch and release.
They're gonna let the guy cast from one of his new boats and see if he can make it that far.
What are the hours of operation if you have planned?
We've been open, year-round, Tuesday through Saturday, from 8:30 to 5. Sales 5 to 6. But the service side is 8:30 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday. During the summertime, we are open on Sundays in sales. And I got into years, the limited hours there, though. And we're between about 11 and 4 right now in sales.
After he's done speaking.
Monday
There's
we've
another
been
question.
closed ever since 23 years, so. More than likely, we probably continue that. We've got to give 4 guys like that schedule, and I don't, see us expanding.
Are there any other questions for the architect or the applicant? If not,
Thank you much.
are there any, is anyone would like to speak in favor of the project?
The whole crowd here.
Yes, all right. Would you please go to the podium and give us your name?
After 20 years, so. Hi, my name's Jeff Oliver, and I live on 1497 Guy Place, which is, backs up to Canal. So I'm like the closest neighbor to where they're putting this place in. And I've lived here for 17 years in Ripon. And I guess it was about 9 years ago where we had this beautiful orchard behind us. And I'd be up in my office there looking at these beautiful trees, and then right before Labor Day one year, all of a sudden they were gone. And that parcel's basically been empty since then. And all we get now in our backyard is dirt from the field that blows into our backyard. When I heard about this boat dealership coming in, I thought, it's about time we did something that's not a super Walmart where you're gonna have transients coming in and camping in our backyard. And I think it's a great idea. And I asked you the hours operation. I mean, I think this is a wonderful thing. And I'm 100% behind it.
Terrific. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Any questions? Thank you.
Sure.
All right. I will ask the question. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to the application? If not, then if there are no further questions for the applicant, we will close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission. Are there any additional questions for Mr. Zeidervart or any additional comments by any of the commissioners?
Well, I would agree with our neighbor that it's a great addition to our community, so I have no problems.
Likewise, it's a great spot for it, noise isn't gonna be an issue for anybody, and it sounds like the hours are very appropriate. I just think it's a great fit.
It even fits the feel of Ripon, which is more of an outside, upper scale, enjoy, water sports. I think it's a great fit. I want to make the motion if there's more discussion.
And it'll add to the Ripon-Escalon rivalry because they'll undoubtedly think that we stole their boat dealership.
Do you live in Escalon? I don't. Okay.
Where, do you live in Ripon?
I live in Modesto.
Oh, okay.
Very good. If there are no other comments, if someone is prepared to make a motion.
I would like to make the motion as listed under the recommended action, please.
I will second.
All right, so we have a motion to approve the Boat Country Site Plan Permit and tentative parcel map based on the findings, subject to the staff report and the adoption of a negative declaration. We have a second to that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion is carried. Thank you very much, and best wishes. We hope you are a huge success here in Ripon.
When's it gonna open? Oh, is that? Okay, spring.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna move forward full steam ahead on everything, so we're, I'm hoping early 2018.
Terrific.
Cool.
Commissioner Collins has about a 130-foot yacht, so that's,
Oh, yeah.
that's something that,
I want to downsize, right? Okay, I can afford that. Okay.
very good, thank you very much. Best wishes.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah, that's, that is a neat addition. All right. Mr. Zeidervart, are there any other items you'd like to?
Yep. No, not this evening. This was it. We had, this is all we had this evening, and there's really not a whole lot in the pipeline for next month. We are working on a couple subdivisions, as you know, on Fulton Avenue that are some medium-density projects. I don't think they'll be ready for the July meeting, and most likely not even the August meeting. That'd be the soonest you might see it, but those are still kind of moving forward a little bit. And we do have some other inquiries of some different uses around town that haven't seen applications for yet, so we will bring them to you as soon as we get them.
Very good. Are there any commissioners' reports? Seeing none, we are adjourned.
We're getting a boat.